We've reached the fourth commandment in our series looking at the Ten Commandments, and this is the first of the two commandments which is phrased positively. Rather than do not, here in commandment number 4, we are told to remember our Sabbath. And the fifth goes on to say, honour your parents. Now this is actually the commandment which we have written in the greatest detail. It says this: remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labour and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall do no work, neither you nor your son or daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animals, nor any foreigner residing in your towns. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them. But he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. And despite it being the longest commandment, I would argue that it's the most divisive in many ways. It's the one which causes most confusion. It's the one which some would argue that doesn't apply to us today. It's one that makes us ask, can I do this on a Sunday? Can I do that? And it's one that even if we manage to understand a little bit better today, our lives will be far better and our understanding of Christ will be far richer. Firstly, I want to ask you how you feel about the Sabbath. Our Sabbath day is Sunday. How does it make you feel when Saturday is drawing to a close and Sunday is on the horizon? Are you filled with excitement, bliss, dread? Here we go again. In Isaiah 58, God calls on his people to delight in the Sabbath. It says, if you turn back your foot from the Sabbath, from doing your pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, and the holy day of the Lord honourable, if you honour it, not going your own ways or seeking your own pleasure or talking idly, then you shall take delight in the Lord, and I will make you ride on the heights of the earth. So let me ask you this morning, is the Sabbath a delight to you? Why should we delight in it? Well, let's look at these things. There are some things which are so natural to us, we forget that they must have started somewhere. Why 7 days in a week? Well, the Earth's rotation takes 24 hours, which gives us our day. The movement of the Earth around the Sun takes 365 days, which explains why we have the year. They're dictated by science and reason. But why 7 days? Well, the 7-day pattern was given to us by God. The pattern of 6 days of work and 1 day of rest is given to us by God. Sabbath literally means to cease doing something or to stop. And that's what God did when he created the world. Created for 6 days before resting. He didn't need to rest. And it seems strange to us because God is so powerful. He does not grow tired or weary. He shouldn't need to rest. No, but he sets it aside. He makes it special. He delights in this day. So how do we delight in it? Well, we too rest. That doesn't mean you have to sleep in on a Sunday or nap for the whole afternoon. But it's supposed to look different to the other days of the week. One preacher called the Sabbath an island to get to in a week of have to. So turn off your work emails. Don't do homework. What freedom it is to have 1 day free of the concerns that have bugged you for 6 days straight. The Sabbath is a way of trusting. One of the first ways that the people of Israel showed their obedience was when God gave the people manna, bread from heaven. On 6 days they collected enough for the rest of the week. On the day before the Sabbath, they were to collect twice as much, so they wouldn't have to collect any on the Sabbath. It was their way of trusting that God had planned for them. We show our trust in God by being distinct from everyone else. We don't need to use our Sabbath as a day to catch up on all the things that we haven't had time for. We can spend a day enjoying God, enjoying spending time with him. We can spend it being merciful to others and serving them. It's also a sign and a reminder of the rescue from slavery. When God gave this law, remember that the people had been slaves for 400 years. They had known nothing but long hours in the burning hot sun of Egypt. God was now telling them, you're free, so spend a day reveling in how free you are. It's a day to meet with other people as well. These Sundays in lockdown haven't been the same, have they? We love singing together and praying together and laughing together, reminding each other of what we have in Christ. And so we mustn't see our Sabbath as a bondage, as an infringement of our freedom. We should not see it as a list of things that we can't do. We shouldn't see it either as an opportunity to see ourselves as better than others. We shouldn't judge those who observe the day differently to us. Paul writes to the Corinthians about that sort of thing. Ultimately, we remember that the Sabbath, that rest, is found in Christ. Like all the other commandments, we simply can't fulfill them as we ought to. We fail time and time again. But we do find that this commandment finds its true meaning in Jesus. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and are laden, and I will give you rest." You can try and save yourselves with your actions, your works, your good deeds. It won't work. You'll find yourselves dejected, tired and hopeless. Come to Jesus. He is gentle and lowly in heart. He won't turn you away. When the Pharisees took offence at how Jesus spent his Sabbath, he called himself the Lord of the Sabbath. Jesus was referring to the fact that just as the Sabbath was given to the people to give rest from their labours, he came to provide us rest from labouring to achieve our own salvation by our works. Because of his sacrifice on the cross, we can now forever cease. We can Sabbath from labouring to earn God's favour. We rest in his mercy and grace. The Sabbath is our weekly taste of the rest to come, where we will be with Christ, the rest that we have forever because of what he has done.